Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about death and the diaspora. I have my guest here today, Neska, who is, we're just really sitting down to have a chat about, what dying in the diaspora means, what we can do to prepare, and what happens after our death as diasporans.
Yeah, my name is Neska, as Cleo have said, and I live here in Ireland. We are a society. Group of people, and we just joined this diaspora Zim community comfort here in Ireland. We joined this because we know that in Ireland people, they're having problems of sometimes if you died or you passed away, people back home, they're having trouble of like preparing for your funeral, trying to think what to do while they're still crying. So we arranged this with few ladies and some of the people. We put our mind together and then we started contributing for ourselves. So that's who we are here in Ireland. So far so good, yeah.
Okay, so let's go back now before the society. I just want us to talk generally.
Yes.
That because people will be like, what society? No one is listening. They're going, actually, I'm not dying.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about how real death is. I want us to talk about that death has no age, so that someone sitting there goes, oh my God, so I can also, it can be me.
Exactly.
Or, oh my God, it could be my child. Even, talk about the few deaths that we've experienced. In my experience of living in Ireland, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm living here over 20 years. So is my friend Neska. We've been friends over 20 years.
Yeah.
So we have seen in our lifetime, people passing sadly. I remember our first shocking death was someone you were very, very close to.
Yeah.
And he was only in his 20s.
Oh, yes, he was 20s.
If anything, maybe 30,
yeah.
but he wouldn't have been that old,
Yeah, he was very young. Anyway.
Very young,
yeah.
And that was our first death, and that would have been, my God, Neska, what was that? Maybe even 2006?
2006,
7,
yeah.
But, and then, of course, after that, we've had many deaths of different age groups.
Exactly.
So really, we're sitting down here today to say to people, let's normalize talking about death.
Death, yeah.
Death is there.
It's true. Death is there, and people, they're afraid to talk about it because they think if they talk about it, they are going to die. So what we need to do is we need to plan with our families back home. You choose where exactly you want to be buried.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because some people, they think if today they tell their parents or they discuss it with their family, probably they will... Yeah. So they're afraid to express what they really want to. And there is so many arguments at the end of the day. People here, we just like, okay, she's going or he's going to be buried here. Back home,
especially if, Neska, sorry for interrupting, if you have a husband or you have children here, if you have established your own family here, and back home your parents or your sisters are still alive and they're back home, it can be very difficult where maybe your husband or your children or husband and children are saying, we want her to be buried here. And your family, your sisters or your parents are saying, no, mwana wedu ngawe kumba mntane tusimfune ekhaya. All those threats. So to avoid that, what should people do? With regards to our parents back home, what can we do to make sure also when they pass that, things are easy and they are prepared?
Yeah, I think we need to ask our parents if they are covered back home and to find out, there is so many funeral policies and all kind of thing, Nyarads or in other. So probably
Kings and Queens, there's Dove, there's a lot of them.
So you need maybe to find out if they are all covered. In case,
and if not, it's better to cover for them on their behalf.
Exactly.
Because a lot of them are like $20 a month.
A month,
and funerals can be very expensive.
Exactly.
And a lot of them don't have age restrictions.
They don't, yeah.
So anytime, just call home and say, Mama, do you have a life insurance? Mama, do you have a burial society? Mama, do you have a funeral policy?
Exactly.
Or mom and dad. And because at the end of the day, what I find is that when our parents or even siblings, sisters and brothers, when they pass, we end up failing to attend their funerals because we would rather send that money to cover the funeral than for me to fly there and then I have to face these expenses. But it's very sad if you can't attend your loved one's funeral.
And when everything is in order, you can just buy the ticket and then you go home, fly home, and you'll find everything is sorted.
And you get closure at the end of the day. You have a peace of mind. You've buried your... This has happened to me, guys. You know, I have lost siblings. I have lost, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to bury my mother, and I would advocate for anyone that loses their parents to attend. So for you to be able to attend, please do look into getting all these policies in place. It gives you such a relief. I was able to pick the clothes my mother was going to wear. I was able to choose the size of tent I wanted her to be there. I was able to choose the catering company I wanted to cover. I was able to actually grieve her, watch her go down. I had so much closure compared to when I lost my sister and I didn't go. Up to today, I have no peace. I have no closure because I said, you know what, with this money, I'm going to just send and my aunt will look after the funeral. But it's one guilt that you live with forever. And if you can spare yourself that guilt, please do prepare yourself and prepare for them so that you can be able to lay them with peace and with no financial burdens.
I think it's a very good idea to everyone.
I was just saying, you know, I've experienced situations where someone has a wife here and children, or just children, and they're saying, well, we want our mother or our dad to be buried here in Europe or in Ireland, and then back home you have parents and siblings who are saying, no, we want our child to come home for the burial, and they are saying, you know, or you know, ngesindebele kuthiwa vele lizasidla isidumbu lingangcwaba khona ngapho. So how do we avoid such situations?
On my own thinking, I think we need to talk oftenly and discuss with our family about this, because some people, they're afraid to talk about it. And they think if they start talking about it, maybe they wake up tomorrow dead, or the people back home, they will start saying, oh, makutishurira, wakuda kufa ere, kose wazodaro. So at the end of the day, people, they're afraid to talk about it. So we need to continue and keep on talking to our families, because some of the people, like parents, they don't know how difficult it is when you are here to just bring the body back home. So we need to plan ourselves, like to say, okay, what are we going to do now? Like this society, Zim Island Comfort, it really helps. Because them people, when they are back home there, they will be like waiting, what's going to happen? They're busy crying, they don't have time to think very well, and they don't have money as well. But if you prepare for yourself that, okay, to my tomorrow, how is going to be like, and this is what I have to do, make sure that you don't give them problem or trouble of crying at the same time. They call it, okay, that,
you know, from grieving for the dead one to grieving about no money.
Exactly.
The finances. Talking about finances, Neska, I understand it is very expensive to repatriate a body. So if someone is sitting there and saying, oh, I'm healthy, or I'm young, or I don't care, or I'm not dying anytime soon, or you know, I just want to say, just please subscribe to a certain type of life insurance. There's even, okay, so Neska is referring to one that's a communal one that has a lot of Zimbabwean ladies. I know there's also South African ladies. But then there's also, so people can say, you know, there is white people. I am subscribed to a normal, you know, Irish, but it's the British one, I think, a royal. I'll link down the name down below. I think it's Royal England, Royal something. Anyway. And there's a few Irish life, post insurance. A lot of banks have life insurance, you know. And unfortunately, or you know, there's always a good side and a bad side to everything. So these standard typical first world country life insurances, they'll only cover you, your spouse, and your children who are under 18. Whereas your one, I think it doesn't matter the age.
It doesn't
You can
matter.
pick any five people, say for example,
Yes.
and have them covered under insurance.
Exactly.
So there's a good and a bad to everything. My one is very cheap. You will tell us later about what the cost of your, you'll go through everything. We'll just generally talk first. But say my one, I pay roughly 18 euros a month, and what you'd benefit is an average of 80,000 euros at your death. And I think in a way it's creating generational wealth, which is a topic of another day, because if at my death I get 80,000 euros, it just means maybe 20,000 euros is going towards my funeral, and the other 60,000 means my child can invest in a property or in buying shares in a big company, and that may also eradicate general poverty in our family. So there's a lot of things to think about. There's no good, there's no bad. That one is good because even your parent is covered, even your child who's over 18 is covered. My one is good in my opinion as well, because it leaves a lot of wealth and comfort for your children. So however, let's just go on with our conversation.
Like for ourselves, look at, we are here, and like myself, if like today I'm gone, I have a full cover.
Well, tell us, Neska, since you're here, let's be personal. So when you die, where do you want to be buried?
Myself, I'm going to be buried here.
And your reasons?
My reasons is my family, as you said before, my family, my children, they are here, and I feel like I'm at home now. It's been a long time. I left Zimbabwe, and even when I go home to Zimbabwe, I'll be like, I want to go back home.
This
is my home.
And this is where your heart is.
Exactly. So I don't...
As much as I know, don't take her wrong. She goes to Zimbabwe 2-3 times a year.
I'm a Zimbabwean, please, don't say it.
But what you're essentially saying is children were born here, your children have grown up here, they're going to have their future here, and you'd rather be buried near where they are.
They are, exactly. That's how I feel like, because sometimes, these children, they don't know much about home, even though we take them home, and they feel like, oh, Mom, how will they every day, like myself, they will come and kiss me every day. It seems like they wake up, come to my grave, put the flowers, do everything for me.
Their culture is now mixed. They have a huge Irish culture influence, where Mother's Day, they're coming to put flowers on the grave. On your birthday, they're coming to put flowers on your grave.
Exactly.
When they miss you anytime, they'll come and sweep the grave and put flowers. But if you decide to be buried in Zimbabwe, how will they be able to access that?
They won't come.
You'll be depriving them of that opportunity.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Now I'm different again, guys. There is no right, there's no wrong. What we're saying is talk to people. So, when one day, maybe in 50 years' time, that day comes, and Neska, it goes to God, we'll say, she told us, we rewind this video and say, please give her children peace to bury in Ireland. As for me, I'd like to be cremated. And everyone goes, what? That's my opinion, that's my choice.
We want to see you, please.
I feel that I'm an immigrant, and I don't want to restrict my children from migrating. If they feel that their heart sets them to America, I want them to be free to go there. I don't want them to feel restricted that, our mother's bones lay in Ireland, we have to stay with her, we have to put flowers. So I just feel I'll be at peace. Cremate me, take my ashes wherever, whether it's the sea, whether it's the mountains, but I just want them to have peace and not have ties to either have to go back to Zimbabwe for the flowers, or to either have to come back to Ireland for the flowers, or to, even if they don't, for instance, I haven't put flowers in my mother's grave. She's God rest her soul. She has been gone for 5 years, and I have never stepped my foot in her grave to put flowers. Now, don't judge, guys. I know in the comment section you'll come for me, but obviously I have many personal reasons. But I don't want my children feeling like that. I don't want them feeling the guilt. So I have made a decision that I want to be cremated. But I feel we have to communicate whatever your choice is. Speak about it. Now my family is still true. Oh my God, we can't bury.
It's painful anyway, Even for me, when you say that, I'm feeling like, oh my God, where will I go and say clear?
But my reasons valid?
It's really valid. Like sometimes, we have choices. So if that you feel happy with that, that's fine. And also talk to your children, talk to your husband, talk to your family back home. I think it's good. to talk to them and get to know in advance. Yeah.
So guys, kuthiwa ukufalisela hanzi rufurno yasembava. You know, it doesn't knock on your doors. It can come through the window. It can come anytime.
Yes.
Ultimately, this video, my lovely friend Neska has honored me to come down and sit here and talk to our people to prepare. We don't want that burden of, you know, or this person, their families want them to come home, and you're taking 2-3 months
Exactly.
to get there because we're contributing 10 euros, 20 euros, 15 euros. The community is struggling, you know, to get your body to rest, and it's painful for us to be talking about you every day, and your body is lying sadly in the mortuary with us trying to figure out a solution. And even find out from your work contract, have you benefits, have you death benefits, who else benefits from them, you know, and communicate them with someone. Write a will. That's another big thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you only have a car, don't say, what am I writing a will about? You don't want your children to fight over your car. You don't want your sisters to fight over your car. Just document
Prepare
things. Go
yourself.
to a lawyer's office.
That's very true.
So tell us now more about the society that you're involved with, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, like what I was saying, me, I get a full cover, and my children and my family, like what you said is true, that it covers my granny, my uncle, any 5 people you wish to put on, and those people, they will benefit, but the full cover goes first to me. And also, even if you are in Zimbabwe or you are wherever, you are covered. Yeah, you are covered. So don't hesitate to join and think, oh my God, I'm not in Ireland, so why are they joining there when me, I'm here in Zimbabwe, so it doesn't work. It will still work, because if I join and I put my family, anytime anything happened, they will be covered as well. And also, I just want to say to those who have not yet joined this society, you can just contact maybe Charity if they know Charity Mkwasani. She's one of our sisters. She's very good, and she's the one who come up with this idea. And I think it is really helping so many people. They've been helped, and we need this at the time of trouble, times of problems. So I think it's benefiting everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will speak to Charity and get her consent, and if we get it, we shall put her contacts down in the description box so that whoever want to access them. And a few just normal you can go on Google, you know, if you're not happy with the community, with the African systems, you can just go on Google and Google life insurance or death insurance, and you know, get something sorted. And don't just put it under the mattress and say, if people know I have this one, they'll kill me. Make sure someone knows where it is, where it's allocated. Make sure someone knows your claims number, so that in the unfortunate situation or instance that death knocks on your door, you are able, you know, we're able to access whatever means you've put out for yourself to alleviate the struggle for your family, so that when your family are grieving for you, they're not crying about money and finances, but they're actually crying about the loss of their loved one. And just Neska, before we wrap up, is there anything at all you'd like to tell us about or to talk to us about?
I just want to tell everyone that plan today and you live in peace. You will not have any trouble for your tomorrow. That's all what I can say.
And I will just add on by saying, please do press that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Share, like, and comment. Thank you so much for tuning in. So take care of yourselves and of each other.
Bye.